Hey folks, it's Ben. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. Today we're going to be working on our 1993 Chevy Lumina APV van. We're going to be doing a coolant flush. Since we're doing this in the Quonset, we got to move it, but we don't necessarily want to get it too warm, so let's go ahead and give it a start. Hey, it's showing a little bit of fuel. That's good because it's pretty full at the moment. We're going to be changing out that sender here soon. So let's go ahead and turn it around and get it in the open door of the Quonset. So we'll just turn around. Perfect. So we've got our hood open, we've got access to the front end here. We can go ahead and open up our radiator cap, which just squirts at me a little bit, but it's just because it's friendly. Right there. Now the issue I'm having with the van is that the coolant isn't exactly green or orange or anything actually. Here I've got a clear turkey baster, so if I come in here and suck out a bunch, just to sample, it's kind of an ambery color. Looks like it might be Dex Cool. It's dirty. Tough to say. I'm not sure what it was originally in it. Could have been Dex Cool. My owner's manual would know. But long story short, we're just going to convert it over to ethylene glycol. No harm in that, especially on a 93. So let's get rid of this stuff by draining it out. Now, where do we drain that out? Right over here on the driver's side. You can see that the outlet hose for the inlet, actually. I don't know, inlet, outlet? The top, upper. Let's go with the upper radiator hoses here. And down straight below it, there's actually a plastic pepcock, which we can turn, and that's gonna drain fluid everywhere. For jobs like this that tend to be really messy, and this goes for transmission filter changes and also coolant changes, especially if you're doing something like a water pump or just catching coolant out of the radiator, the bigger the better in the catch pan. This thing is awesome. It's actually an under the bed pan or container, but it's sealed so it doesn't leak, and it has wheels so it can roll, and it's big so you can completely just stick it under the car and do your thing, and it catches everything you need it to catch. So we're going to use this, and let's go ahead and pop the drain on this and let all this stuff out. Underneath the van, there's our little drain, and we just need to turn that lefty-loosey, so anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, and that should open up the drain and let everything out. So let's go with that and hope it's not a, hopefully it comes out pretty good and not very slowly. Or that it comes out at all. That'd be great if you could, come out. There we go. And it looks like it's just a dribbler. Some really come out and some just kind of come out. So part of our process here, as we let that kind of dribble out over there, is we need to disconnect our expansion tank. Now, true hardcore folks will go ahead and take that tank out and wash it up and all that fun stuff, but it's under that brace, and if you notice, the air conditioner is kind of married up to it. I'm not 100% sure. Is that right? I'd have to look at another van to know. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll pop this nipple off here, and we'll sink the line all the way down to the ground where when we're done draining, we'll move our pan over and catch all that stuff out, and we'll give it just a super good rinsing. We'll get some water in there and just get all that crap out. Down the connection's right underneath there, right where my finger is, right on the bottom, and then just loops up over here. So that'll hopefully we'll clean all that stuff out, get all that sorted out. Did look in the owner's manual. We are in ethylene glycol land, so whatever they put in this thing is either a generic or not right. So let's just get it out. We're done draining. So let's screw this back in. all the way. It's just plastic. It's got a rubber O-seal, so it's not like crazy. Oops. There we go. So now we're sealed again. Let's make our concoction. So what we have here is some clean flow 10-minute radiator flush, rad flush. I guess that way they don't have to do French. Aluminum compatible. I'm not sure if we've got that much aluminum. What a lower intake manifold is, but anyway. And this is used to be a windshield washer fluid jug that's been rinsed out a bunch, and I use it now to mix coolant. So I'm just going to take all this cleaner, which I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on and then shake it in case it has solids in it. Can't say for sure. Pour it in my container here. And it's yellowish. It smells good too. And then I'm going to come over here. Now, I bought my wife a gas pump for Christmas. What a loving husband I am. And she hasn't used it for gas yet. So I'm like, well, sweetie, I'm going to go ahead and use it for water. So I have my RO jug here that we're going to be using for coolant. And we're just going to turn that on and mix in some water. And we're going to fill the system back up with water in this mixture and run it till we get the thermostat open. It says 10 minutes, so that's probably exactly what we'll do. But the car hasn't actually gotten hot yet, so we'll just buyer beware that one. So now to take this, and by the way, if you don't put the hose up, it siphons itself out. We're going to go ahead and put this, it turned into like milk, in there, and run the car for 10 minutes. For those of you paying attention, there's a jack under the car, and the reason for that is I had to raise it up a couple inches to accommodate my drain pan from the actual subframe of the car. That being said, it puts my radiator up a little higher, which is cool, because we can't forget about our buddy over here on the thermostat housing. Oh, is it? It's got to have a flathead on it. Oh, you're killing me here. We do have a bleed valve. Yeah, it's got a flathead right here. And we can crack open. And this would be a high point in the system that we can hopefully open and keep putting water in until we get something out of that too. So we are out of cleaner, so now we're just going to fill the rest with water. So setting the record straight, the way the car is sitting as it sits, that's probably an inch above that. So if this is full, you'll get air out of the bleeder there. Once you stop getting air and you start getting liquid constantly, you can close that, top that off, we're full. Now we should be good to start her up. So let's get all the tools clear. I'm not going to put the cap on. We don't need to pressurize the system. We just need to get the thermostat open and to get this juicy awesomeness floating all the way around. While it's running, we'll hopefully undo our tank and maybe start working on that. We've got our power steering pump to quiet down quite a bit after the fluid change, but we're still going to change it again. And our coolant level is right there. So let's give her the old 10-minute, let the water pump do its thing. And I'm going to find out what that little sound is. Get my mechanical stethoscope out while we wait. So we're about halfway through this run, and of course the level creeps up. And had I been thinking, I would have got some hose that would actually fit over the nipple here, and then I could just direct it over into my touch pan. But I don't. So I had been dripping down, and then I realized just get the chicken baster, turkey baster I have been using, sucks them out, put it in the overflow tank, so when we rinse that out, it'll have a little bit of cleaner in it. That won't hurt anybody's feelings either. So we'll just kind of do that for the remainder. We got 5 minutes to go. That other stuff is really yellow, so it really sticks out once the milky stuff is put in there. Another thing not forget to do is go ahead and crank it all. We have a back heater and a front heater. There's a heater core back there, believe it or not. I don't know how well it works, but maybe this flush will get a little juice back there, and that would be all right. And we're warm. According to the gauge, we have moved above 40, which is what, 110, 120 degrees, so we're getting there. On a cool side note, not that I've ever really checked the heart before, but I'm actually getting heat out of the back. So that's awesome. My van's up on high idle, and I don't know why. I think my IAC is not the greatest anymore, but we haven't even taken it apart to clean it yet. She's just humming along. But we're up to 10 minutes. Oh, we got a thermostat. Perfect. We're here for a bit. 10 minutes is a minimum. So it ended up being about a half an hour before I was kind of satisfied with that. We'd actually got some stuff turned over and things like that. As soon as I turned it off, it just came running right out of it. And I got idle issues, I already know that. And whenever the engine was running fast, it was fine, and it would slow down, and then it would just come right up. So that was interesting. I didn't really know what the heck that was about. So I'm going to actually drop this hose now. I actually put it back on because it was actually just taking the overflow. I'm going to drop it down here and run that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and move my pan back over there and drain this stuff out. Then put some water down the hole and have it come out again, just to kind of flush the bottom of the radiator out. Then we'll plug everything up and we'll fill it back full of normal water, just water. And then we're going to run it again. So that'll help hopefully flush out the cleaner. I think I'm going to do that twice before we do our final put some coolant in the thing. So stay tuned for that. Here we go. This will be drain number 2. First wash. Ooh, it's warm. It's actually nice. It's 20 degrees outside, so cold water is nice. It's coming out a lot faster too, so that's cool. So let's let this water get out. So all the cleaner drained out. I just poured about a quarter gallon of water in the radiator. That's what's coming out now. When this is done, I'm going to plug it up and refill. Well, that is crystal clear. We bled off our thermostat housing, so we're actually full. So let's fire it up again and just let it churn, and hopefully that'll muck up some. And then we'll drain it and do it again. Looks like I'm going to be going through about 10 gallons of water. I'm almost out of that. I got 4 gallons in it already. All right, looks like we're hot again, so we're going to shut her down and drain it. I'm not worried about soak time as much as we're just rinsing things out. Fill it up one more time, drain it, and then we're good for coolant. No, not down my arm, please. That's cleaner coming out. Cleaning round 2. So we've done a cleaner pass, a wash pass, another wash pass, a rinse I should say, and we'll let this drain out after we get some churning around a little bit. We'll be good to go. Come do some chemistry with me. So as we're finishing up our round there, let's go ahead and get our coolant ready since we're done with putting water in the car. I have a jug here that's a gallon, and I have another jug here that's 3.78 liters to a gallon. So this is 100% concentrate epiglycol. It's called Universal, but that's the French side, so let's keep rolling it here. Recommended for older domestics, antifreeze coolant, concentrate, what have you. So how do you mix it to 50-50 with somewhat reliability? Well, if you have 2 jugs, you just go and half fill this jug and fill them both up with water again, and you're on your way. So that's what we'll do here. Now volume wise, we're fairly close. We've got this much here, and so yeah, we're cool there, as long as you don't overfill them. In fact, what I'm going to do is actually only fill them till about here, because I want my concentration here to be a little bit higher, because right now that truck has nothing but water in it. And so there are nooks, crannies, valleys that are only going to be filled with water. And when the epiglycol comes in, great. It's going to all mix up and be a happy family, but it's going to dilute out my coolant. So what I want to do is actually have this concentrate high, maybe 60-40, so that when it does mix in with all the stuff that's in the heater core and all that cool stuff, when it's all said and done, it should be about 50%, which gets me to maybe about negative 40 degrees Celsius, which if it gets colder than that, you know, hey, it won't freeze that hard, won't break a block or anything. So we'll fill these up with water up to about here, and here, and wow, they even have the same dimples. That's cool. And there we go. We'll be rocking it. So that's our concoction. So I'll top them off with water, seal them up, and then when this is done, we'll be able to put it in. We're good to go here, so let's shut her down, drain her out, fill her back up. So that's as tight as it was. It was pointed between 12 and 6, up and down. That's some nasty stuff, by the way. Gross. Okay, and one last thing to do I wanted to do was to connect this hose up, and let me get the light out so we can see everything. Okay, so the bleeder's open, our thing's open, and our drain's there, and our pump is installed. That's the handiest part. So let's empty the clear container first. It'll be 1 gallon. So, and hopefully our pump just doesn't leak out of the gate. That would suck. Let's see, this is the easy pour side. If anything, like I said, I got water in the heater cores. Get that stuff out of here. At least. This might be mostly water at this point. We're gonna call it that. Let's button up the bleed for now. Yeah, and it's a little green over here, so that means we're getting what we need. That's tightened up. Let's top that off and put a shot in the expansion tank, because now we're going to start using that to bleed the system. Some too. It'll help purge out all this air. Right into that hole. See how we can do it with one hand. Whoops, that totally missed again. Yay. There we go. So now that the coolant's all flushed, we got the car back out. We just want to scan the whole thing over for leaks, make sure everything's cool. Got our hoses hooked back up and our tank full of water, or coolant I should say, 50-50 mix, because we were a little rich with the mixture on that. You should be good to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, comments, leave those, and subscribe to my channel, Turbo231, for more exciting videos, including with this van and other cars that are in the yard for sure, but this van mostly right now. And you guys have a good day. I guess now I wait 20 seconds and let the cards run. Power steering pump still whiny. And I found out that this is the fuel injector, fuel pump test circuit. So when we do a fuel pressure test, we can use that to trip the pump, I think.